YouTube. Guitar fetish series or porn series, whatever I'm going to call it. Here is... well, better just showing you it here. This is my Washburn A20, built by Yamaki. This one does not have a serial number. Normally Washburns have got a serial number on the back of the headstock. This one does not have that. See, it's got quite a stumpy little weird headstock. You can actually see there the Toblerone neck, which is phenomenal. It's like, it makes it really, really thin when you're playing here, but really fat there. It's also asymmetrical, if you can see it, that the centre line of the sort of Toblerone is there, not in the middle. But yeah, these guitars are something else. So, I'm sorry, it's an A20v because it's got the vibrato. So, that's actually, I'm not sure that was lifting like that before. I think that might have happened recently. So, brass nut. These inlays, which I've never actually got to show off properly. These are brass rings put in. And I've never seen another guitar that's got these, apart from this and the Falcon. It's not... You get modern guitars, I've seen them that have tried to copy it, but what they've got is they've got like an inlay with a black bit, a plastic in the middle. That's still the wood, it's still the ebony. So they must have like a brass tube that they somehow cut like a polo mint hole and put them in. And they are stunning if you get the light right now. The brass things are amazing. This is a through neck guitar. Actually, the A10 looks, it's got exactly this same join, but it's not a join on this one. It does make it a bit silly when you're thinking, oh, through neck, and then what I'll do is I'll take the through neck and then I'll cut a big hole in it, put a bridge in it. This doesn't have a back plate, I've just noticed. Yeah, but there's the standard STC made in Japan big block tremolo. This is actually the same tremolo that's in my Tempest. I do not have the original saddles were totally corroded, so I've put these ones on it just because I think they look quite cool. These are like solid steel ones. I was going to say they're a wee bit jaggy. The strings on this are disgusting. It's like I can't keep the strings up on these guitars. It's disgusting. Yeah, so we've actually got gold binding on this. I don't know if you can see it. See, it's got like so it's like there's two bindings. There's a gold binding, then there's a black one put on top of it. It's rather swanky, as my granny used to say. The good words I'm going to start using again. I think that's the first time I've said swanky. Not wanky, swanky in years, but my granny used to say, oh, very swanky. Good word. Well done, granny. Yeah, so just got the three-way pickup selector. These are Washburn Power Sustain pickups, which are Ibanez Super 70s, basically. Again, with the two adjustment points, so you can make them follow the strings nicer. We've got push-pull pots. You've got push-pull pots on both the things for coil splitting. Just don't pull it that hard. Maybe put. That's quite annoying me, isn't it? I've never noticed it doing that before. What I can do is I'll show you how to do this, which you don't want to do in case you break the pot. That's actually has been. I think that might have actually been broken before. Sometimes you can go in and you can sort of prise it open a little bit so it grips the pot better, but I'm really terrified that if I do that I might break it. You know, if you kind of go in and kind of just very gently tease the two bits apart. Bearing in mind if you push it too hard you will snap the thing off, but that might be enough, just enough to get it to grip it a bit better. Already feel it. Yeah, so there you go. Free tech tip. But if you bend it too much, you'll break it. So 2 volumes, 2 tones, both push pulley. Yeah, I mean these guitars are, the Yamaki built stuff is ridiculous. Again, it's I was saying there about the through neck thing. It is, yeah, it should be a hardtail. I'd rather have the you know, because I mean you're talking about it's all, you know, like a 3-piece neck, and it gets to there, then they just cut a big hole in it, put a trem in. Okay, they put a very expensive or a very big unit trem. This is, see this block on the bottom, it's actually the same piece of metal as this piece on the top. So see if you take off the saddles and take out the bar, it's one piece of metal. It's a very standard Japan, the one that says STC on it. I assume it's Goto. I don't know what STC stands for either. But it's like a big heavy block, which is always good. I wonder what happened to the back plate. This you can't even see it, but this has got the wooden back plate covers, like there was actually the Falcon and Eagle. This is basically designed by the same guy. This is designed by Hiro something. The guy's name is the guy whose uncle. His uncle and his dad owned Yamaki, who built these, and he was like the young guy who went to America to learn how to speak English and learn how to copy guitars better. He went to Canada, I think. Yeah, I mean, amazing guitars. I can't really say. Black would never be my first choice of a guitar, but the black with the gold binding on it does have a certain amount of bling and stuff to it. It's kind of understated. I love the way it's got like that wee stripe on the outside when you're looking at it. Not in bad condition by any means. So I think this one is 79, something like that, pre-serial number. This is very similar to my 8-string bass. It's got binding on the neck as well. You can't see it because it's black binding on a black neck, but it's got it. Kind of pointless having black binding on a black neck, but that's what they've done. This just needs cleaned up a lot. Yeah, there's videos of a video of UFO playing these, and we're talking UFO as in bass player's got the bass version and the two guitars, so I've got like a red A10 and a blue A20 or whatever way around you go. So the whole band are basically playing these. Also, the guy from Howard Leese from Heart played one. These were not cheap back in the day, but so much better than a Gibson Explorer. Like, insanely much better. Even though it kind of looks like one, as you can see it. But the difference is, it's like, see, you can lean it against the wall. You can't see I'm doing that, but because it's got a relatively flat bottom on it, you can lean it against the wall. It's like, wow, and it fits in a normal case. So like all the things that wire Explorer shit, you can't sit them down and you have to buy a special case for them. This one doesn't do either of that, but it still maintains a bit of a look at Explorer. I'm going to have to talk about headstocks. This headstock, right, this is a hockey stick headstock. Although that's not what someone says, oh, hockey stick, they don't think of this one. This actually looks like a hockey stick. So for me, kind of square, very tightly close together, and obviously it's not perfect with it. It's got a bit of a splay. There's a wee bit of a splay there going to that. It's like ideally you want these to be straight, but the reason that's done is because it matches that bit perfectly. Like a holistic approach. Very, very nice guitars these. I'll need to do a video. I'll get my 8-string bass out. I want to do a close up on that. There is one of these I've seen on the Washburn Guitars Golden Era, which basically the same one as this, the same colour, and there was Japanese writing on the back of the truss rod cover, and we got Hiro-san, the guy who designed it, to translate what it said on the back, like in Japanese writing, and what it said was shit grain paint black. So they built these things, and it's like I reckon it's probably got a flame tiger top on it and stuff like that all in below. But maybe once they'd made it, it was like it maybe wasn't perfect. It was a bit dark at one bit. It's like slight flaws in the look of it. So shit wood paint black at some point in the process before the guitar get finished. And obviously they're looking at it and going, well, that one's really pretty. We'll make that a natural one. That one's really pretty. We'll make that a natural one. That one, paint it black. One of these, which I kind of like anyway, but this guitar needs. Now I do actually have a few, not a few of these. I've got more than one stage series. I've got an A10, which is basically just a lower spec one. It doesn't have the brass inlays. They're just frivolous. They're fucking awesome, but they're just frivolous. It doesn't have the brass nut. It doesn't have the coil splits, but everything else is pretty much the same. It's also not neck through. It's just a set neck, but you get set neck and you get set neck. The set neck kind of comes into here somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's not like a just attached like the way an SG is, where you've got like, you know, half an inch of wood holding the neck on. No, it's proper reset away in here somewhere. So I mean, is there really any difference between a through neck and a set neck? No. Yeah, so there we go. I have mentioned the Toblerone neck. I wish there was some way of showing you what the Toblerone neck was like. It really, it just suits it so well. Yeah, love this guitar. Love it. Cheers, Wayne. This came from I've been looking for an A20. I remember before I even moved to this house, I'm not buying any more guitars. The only guitar I want is an A20 that goes with my 8-string bass, you know, with the tiger top on it and stuff like that. And I never saw them for less than thousands of pounds, which is not what I paid for the 8-string bass, by the way, or what I paid for this one. And my pal Wayne found one of these, and I was like, oh, no way, I'm totally buying that. And he's like, no, I'm buying it first. And it was like, pure, okay, you have it. You know, it's black, it's not the one I want, it's black. On you go. You have it, Wayne. Bastard. And then 3 weeks later, after he cleaned it up, 3 weeks later, this one showed up. Same colour and everything. But it was 10 minutes away from him, so he bought that, and then I swapped it for a Washburn Pantera. Because he was like, up here, yeah, well, this one's yours. You're gonna buy it, or you're gonna swap something for it, or we're gonna do something one time when it downloads. So that's where this one came from. But because he'd already cleaned up the other one, he gave me this one. So I'd had to put saddles on it. It needed a bit of a clean. His one does have a serial number on it, but his doesn't have the Toblerone neck. So I think this is an older one. I think this is like 79, one of the very earliest of this guitar. The same age as me. And I think later on they kind of normalised it a bit by putting a more normal neck on it. And though that might not necessarily be true, because my Hawk is a 79 and it's got like a relatively normal neck on it, whereas you go to the Falcon and the Eagle, which are 80 and 81, they've got like a really weird shaped neck. Amazing, but really weird. Not, you know, a lot of people pick up a guitar and go, this isn't the same as my Strat, I don't like it. Whereas I like things to be different. There's virtually no concessions to the shape either. It's like, you know, the Explorer thing, it's like they've not been able to set it down and all that. But the build quality in these is just ridiculous. They were too expensive. Yamaki went under in 83. They only lasted 3 years building these because they were just too expensive to make. Washburn wanted too many of them and they couldn't cope with it. So you do get later on versions of this. They're still Japanese. They're still amazing, but they're not this. This is the league above, built by Chushin, you know, and I'd even say above most of the Matsumoku stuff. The Yamaki stuff's ridiculous. Gets to the point of... I remember, I need to watch the video again. I don't think it was Yamaki, but it was a company like that. There was 30 people worked at Yamaki, by the way, including the staff and the hero and his dad and his uncle. There were 30 people in total building these guitars, so they're handmade way more than a Fender custom shop master built one is handmade that way. It's not, obviously, it's CNC routed the body and all, and they've got like a neck carve machine. Actually, talking about the asymmetrical neck, which is a feature you get nowadays, was actually a mistake. They made the neck and they had like a, you know, the thing you get for cutting keys where you get like a guide and then it cuts 3 keys next to it. That's how they made these. So you had like a jig that you put the neck that you're copying in, and then there was like a carvy thing that did 3 at the same time, copying it, and there was something slightly off on it, so it made them slightly asymmetrical. Which you don't want to admit. This is from the guy who actually built them, said that. Obviously, he's like, don't tell anybody that, because obviously the asymmetrical thing's great because it fits the shape of your hand. You know, you've got like a kind of, it's like kind of this bit shorter than this bit. Well, that's what the neck's like. Meant to be like that. Brilliant. Rocking. Washburn 79, I'm saying. If you know any better than that, please tell me. But I think 78, 79... made by Yamaki. Belter. Someone like me shouldn't have these guitars. Go into, like, clean this up, put new strings on it, go into guitar, and then say, right, I want a guitar better than this, and watch them flap, because you're not, arguably there isn't one. Oh, we've got this 10 grand Gibson. Yeah, okay, that's a 10 grand Gibson, right? Is it better than this? Oh yeah, but it's a Gibson Les Paul. Didn't I? Is it a better built guitar? Does it sound better? Does it play better? No, but it's a Gibson Les Paul. Rock on.